Now it seems to be working. So I'm going to mute the audio there so I don't hear myself. And yeah. And now someone is writing in the chat, so I definitely know that it's working. Okay, so yeah, welcome to Project Vayner, episode 53. It's another live episode. It's the live number 7. And I usually do these live episodes once per month with a new guest every time. Today we have a guest from USA. It's a person that I have been following for a while. She has her own YouTube channel and she has doing really high quality videos, everything from like the production quality with the lighting and the setup and the content itself and the thumbnails and everything. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this live and to hear a little bit about her and her process behind it. So yeah, without further ado, just going to unmute the guest here so you can hear her. Hopefully it works now. Yes, welcome to the live, Amanda Horvath.
Oh, okay. Now you should be able to hear me.
Now I can hear you. Yes.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to be here and super thankful to David for inviting me.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited to chat.
My pleasure.
And what's really cool, actually, is you were saying this is 53 for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just uploaded my 55th video this week, or like, it's 55 weeks. So we're like very much on the same page, which is super cool.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Because I wrote like the topic for this live to be like 1 year into YouTube. And it feels like a good topic because, yes, as you said, we have come the same like distance time-wise. So yeah, it's gonna be really nice to hear like your experience from your first year and what you have learned and what you want to continue to do and what you're not doing, and so on. So, but yeah, just first give us a little introduction of who you are and what you do.
Totally. So I'm Amanda Horvath. I live in Austin, Texas, and for the last 4.5 years, I've been running a video marketing agency here and in LA. Actually, started it in LA and then moved here about 2.5 years ago. Grew up here though, so this is my home. Mm-hmm. And after doing that for so long, what video was drastically changing. So the market for video was changing, the needs of customers was changing. And what I found was there's tons of people that can do video production, but what most business owners were struggling with was how to really figure out how to make video truly work for them. So how do you get a return on investment with the videos that you're creating? Or even just start to build awareness or whatever the goal is. It doesn't have to be money in the bank necessarily. And so I started really diving deep into marketing and discovering different tactics for how to make video work better. And throughout this journey I'd say I started on that journey about 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. Now I am in the place where I'm realizing, there's tons of people out there that can do video production, and there's so much available at our fingertips, even just with Instagram stories and Facebook Live, and now here we are, YouTube Live, right? Yeah. That you don't even necessarily need someone that has, my skill set that can do every single thing, I can't do every single thing, but like someone that's been trained in this, you can kind of start to do it yourself. And so about a year ago, I decided, after like talking to business owners, I kept kind of trying to inspire them to get started, try different things. And everyone was after that return on investment in terms of like, we want to get results now. We don't want to have delayed gratification. And I kept trying to tell people, hey, YouTube, like YouTube seems to be taking off. Like this is a thing, like you guys should be getting on there. And no one was really listening. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to do this for my own brand and show that it does work and use my brand as kind of an example to everyone else. And so that's when I started the channel a year ago. And since starting that channel, have really transitioned out of video production for clients and more into strictly video strategy. So there's, tons of people, they can do production, but where businesses struggle is the strategy. So that's now where I live.
Yeah, cool. And tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel, because I know that you're creating a lot of, giving a lot of value with the things that you're doing, a lot of tips and stuff. And I feel like that you have grown pretty fast as well, because I know it takes a while just to reach like the first 1,000 people. And I mean, it can take off just overnight, but usually it doesn't. And especially before you're reaching the first 1,000, it's like a long process to get there. So yeah, what talk a little bit about your channel and like your experience from the first year.
Yeah, so it is a journey, as you know, and it is a very slow climb. And I knew right when I started that I wasn't going to get, or not necessarily that I wasn't going to get big numbers quickly, but I had that expectation in mind. I once heard Cody Vayner. I don't know if you follow him, but he's an awesome channel. And he talked about, if you want to start YouTube, like you should start with the idea that you're never going to make money at it and you might never take off. Yeah. And without hearing that prior to launching, that's kind of the attitude that I started with. And that helped kind of create the expectation of, all right, we're just going to see where this goes and slowly start producing content. But being the A-type personality that I am, I wanted to do it right from the get-go. So I took like tons of online courses really to figure out, okay, how is this YouTube game played? How do you do keyword research? What kind of content should you be creating? How does the script works? I've watched tons of different people's channels and like, what graphics do I like? How do you keep an audience retention in terms of editing, pacing, and all of that? And so I did a lot of research even before launching my channel, and launched. I think I had 4 videos completed when I launched. And then after that, it was like, all right, 1 video a week, here we go. And there were times that I kind of fell off, and I went on a trip to Peru. And after getting back from that trip, I was moving and I didn't have a place to film. And it started to become a week-to-week situation to where I was filming. There was one video on my channel, or several videos where I did this, but one video where I admitted that I did this, where it was like 7 p.m. on Monday night, and I had to upload a video by 7 a.m. and I just started filming it and needed to edit it and get it up, right? So the experience of just having to push through that was such a massive self-development journey. And getting in front of the camera. And instead of being the one behind the camera, which I've been for years, the one behind the camera, it's just been really incredible and truly has like changed my life. Even though I don't have that many subscribers, or I don't, like I'm still on my path for sure. It really has changed my life. And so I'm so excited to hear about yours and your experience with this too.
Yeah. I definitely agree with like the struggle of having a consistent schedule. Last year, I really challenged myself when we did a EUROTRip, me and my sister, and I decided to like vlog the whole trip, so publish 1 video every day. So I did that for 20 days, and I think some days I couldn't upload, so then I uploaded 2 episodes the next day. And like at the most, I think I had like 5 uploads in 2 days or something. But it was like, yeah,
Wow.
Some of them were really short, but as you were saying, just the process behind it and knowing what it takes and how you actually need to plan your day to be able to pull this off. It's really good experience, and it's good to learn that way. And I think like that's one of the keys to succeed long term, to be able to have that consistency and to create like the habits to sustain like on that path.
Yeah, habits are key.
Yeah. So is there like something that you have developed or created in terms of habits and stuff like that during this year to have the productivity to keep up with the schedule?
Yeah, so one of the main things, and I wish I could remember which week I made this decision to do this, but I decided that Monday was going to be strictly YouTube. I was not going to work on any client work or anything like that. And that made all the difference for me in being able to stay consistent. So worst case scenario, if I needed to shoot and edit a video that day, I could do it. So that was a massive habit. And not to mention training my clients that I'm making videos for as well, right? So I'm spending the rest of the week editing for them, or shooting and editing, or I was at this time. Hey, if I don't finish something by Friday, you're not going to get it Monday, you're going to get it Tuesday, right? So that was kind of a pretty massive habit. The other one was just constantly thinking about your pipeline of videos. And like now I'm very aware that I need to shoot the next batch of videos basically 4 weeks before they run out. So I'm trying to stay 4 weeks ahead of schedule.
Right.
And so once a month, I'm filming 4 videos at a time, and just like, it's really a mindset thing. And I'm sure you get this. It's like you sit down, you don't want to do it. And this was me yesterday. So if you're watching this live, you could totally go watch my Instagram story yesterday, because I talk all about it. But you don't want to do it, but you're going to push through and you're going to make it happen. And that mindset is so key. And it's like, I'm sure you feel this too. Every single video that I film, I'm like, that could not work, you know? And it always ends up coming together in the end.
Do you feel like it's the filming is the hardest part compared to the editing?
No, I think, well, at first the scripting was the hardest, because I was actually scripting out my videos. And then I went to this conference in LA. It's called Vid Summit, which I highly recommend. Yeah. And I was talking to Nick Nimmin. I'm not sure if you know his channel. And I was like, yeah, I genuinely can't produce more video content. Like, scripting alone is taking me forever, because imagine if anyone out there like has had a blog post, like a weekly blog post, you start to realize how hard it is to make a weekly blog post. And with weekly video, not only are you writing a weekly blog post, but you're shooting it and you're editing it, you're doing the keyword research, everything. And it's like super complicated. So now when I shoot, I don't script. And honestly, maybe even hardly outline. So I've learned the structure of what it would be like if I script, and now I can kind of play around with it and make it more like conversational. And I'm testing my skill level in terms of getting on camera and just being able to talk, which takes a while to learn. I'm curious how, like, I went back and watched your videos, like from the beginning.
First, like episode 1 or 2.
I am so inspired by your journey. Like, I think what you're doing is so cool. And the way that you've like documented it along the way, and like, oh, I got the new camera. Let me like flip to the new camera. And then it like flips to the new camera. Or just, you know, even the way that your graphics for Project Vayner comes on screen is like way updated. And then you have like these cool transitions now. And I'm just super impressed. Like, seriously. Yeah.
I'm really happy to hear that. That's exactly what I'm trying to do with the vlog. Like, I have always like pushed it forward, starting this vlog. I have been wanting to do it for a couple of years, and then I just felt like, why not just start, and then instead of waiting for the perfect moment, just start and like document the process instead, and trying to develop along the way. So I think the first episode I didn't even edit it, or maybe like one cut or something. And then I just decided to, okay, just stick to this schedule, upload every week. And then when I have time, just add something extra, just higher the level a little bit every time. So yeah. It's really, really fun to look back and like see that it's actually going forward, because sometimes you forget that. And also with the scripting, as you were talking about, like in the beginning, I didn't write anything, and then I was writing down like everything I should say, like every word, and then I was writing down like sentences or topics. So I've been trying some different things, and now I have more like bullet points that I want to go through. So just so I know where to start and where to end, but not like the whole script as I had in the beginning.
Right. That's what I've been doing too. Just like more outlining. But yeah, no, like I think you're such an inspiration. And did you come from a video background at all? Like what'd you go to school for? Let's just say.
I studied web development. So I didn't really have a video background. The only like video background I have is when I was like 12 and borrowed my dad's video camera and like filmed to VHS tapes.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like out, me and my neighbors, doing stuff and filming that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I never had like an education in video editing, so I got an internship when I studied web development, and then at that company they asked me if I wanted to help out with a vlog there, and I was thinking like, yeah, sure, video is fun, so why not? And then after that I started working with video, so now I've worked with it for 2 years, and that has really been like the education for me, like those 2 years just trying stuff out, just learning by doing.
Yeah, no, it's impressive. I mean, honestly, like I'll watch your videos as like someone that was trained in it. And this is one of the reasons that I've kind of stepped out of production too, is like, I'm not necessarily the best, you know, like by any means. Like my videos on YouTube, in my opinion, like are kind of boring and dry, you know? And so I'm just like providing how-to content, right? Mm. And they're super, super valuable for the info that you're trying to get. But when I watch yours, I'm like, oh, these are so cool. Like I would love to make mine more engaging like this and like be more vlog style. So it's always a balancing act.
Yeah. It's nice that you feel that way. It was fun when I think I got in contact with you on Twitter, and then I was looking up your stuff on YouTube, and I didn't know like how many followers you had or anything like that. And I'm like, oh, this got to be a really big channel. It looks really professional, and like the quality of every video that she's doing. So I was pretty surprised when I saw you had like 1,300 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I know that you have only done it for like 1 year. So it's still impressive to reach that just within 1 year. But yeah, just the overall quality, it feels like it's not just starting from scratch and building something up. I can really feel that you have like a plan and a structure behind it, and like, okay, this is the color scheme, or this is the kind of feeling that I want people to get when they are watching my videos. And you can see that consistency in your video. So that's really nice, I think.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, but like, how has your education been? Because you said about the strategy, that was more or less something that you searched for or like Googled up. So it's no like education for doing that, or?
Yeah, so I went to film school. I did the whole film school thing, went to LA, worked in the industry, had like 6 internships during college to essentially figure out everything that I hate about the film industry. And without really knowing it, realized kind of at a young age that I'm really a lifestyle entrepreneur, like without knowing that term, in that I'm not willing to sacrifice my lifestyle for, you know, a 2-hour commute across town or 15-hour days on set. And so when I was living in LA, I just started freelancing almost out of necessity. And so when doing that, I needed to figure out how to market myself and my services. So I so badly wish I knew how I came across her. And maybe I even like went into the podcast app and just typed in marketing. I don't know. But I came across Amy Porterfield's Online Marketing Made Easy podcast. And like 90% of my education, well, okay, not 90%, but a lot of the education has come through her. And I've pretty much taken all of her online courses. I'm a total online course junkie. So like I have done B School with Marie Forleo. That was the first one that I did. I've done like ones where it teaches Active Campaign and how to automate within Active Campaign. Pretty much the only thing I haven't truly learned myself, I've just kind of abstractly understood it, is Facebook ads. So I feel like eventually maybe I'll need to get into that, but I haven't yet. So yeah, it's totally self-education.
Yeah.
And you're a perfect example of that with video, right? And I am with marketing, and you could be with anything. It could be coding. People can teach themselves to code using YouTube today. And I don't know, it's just such a cool experience, this world that we live in.
Yeah.
That we can just create our own futures. And I think that like you and I are on the path to doing that through content marketing. And it's a really powerful thing. So if anyone's watching this and feels like this urge to like, ooh, I want to like start playing with that, it's really just a matter of like listen to one podcast, watch one YouTube video, read one book, you know, and like slowly it just it compounds on top of each other to the point where you eventually get it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's so much free information that you can get. So like, and people are creating and putting out stuff every day. So we should really like take advantage of that. And yeah, I also think like how I started with just start somewhere and then like develop along the way. One good thing of doing that is if people want to start, but they feel like, oh, I'm not at the level that I want to, like the more or the worse it is when you start, the more it will feel good when you're looking back to it, because you can see the development. Because if you like set the bar too high from the start, it can be hard to contain like at that level and to see the progress. So I think that should be like enough motivation just to start.
Totally. And honestly, like your second video, like your first video you're talking, and in the second video you have like that intro where you're like all your feet. I'm like, this guy knows what's up. Like he's not just like you like have an eye for it. Which is super cool. So my whole thing is teaching business owners how to start getting in front of the camera, start producing their own content. If you had to give like a couple of tips to someone like that, I'm curious what you might tell them.
For being in front of the camera?
Yeah, maybe either like the main obstacles that I find people have is one, how do I get comfortable in front of the camera? And then two, just like, how do I get started with it, right?
Yeah.
Like you started on your iPhone probably with no mic, and then you very quickly switched.
Yeah, exactly. I think like, I mean, I'm an introvert myself, so I know exactly how it feels to stand in front of the camera and to be nervous and to do like 20 retakes. But I think it just comes down to practice. And one thing that you can do is you can just start filming yourself without publishing it. Like decide that you are shooting yourself with a phone like every day for a month or so, and then just talk about something. And then after that, you can start publishing if you feel comfortable with it. So just practicing for your own. And then also like forget everything about the equipment and all that stuff. You can just take out your phone and record. If you go outside, you have a pretty good lighting already there and good setup. So, but it can be hard to like go out in public and talk the first thing you do. So probably not start there, but yeah, you will get used to it the more you practice at it. I think it's that basic, and I think it's like that with everything in life. I mean, you weren't born, you didn't know how to drive when you were born. That's something you learned. You didn't know how to walk. You didn't know how to talk. Like everything is just, you can learn it even if it feels impossible. So
yep, I love that. We're so on the same page.
yeah.
It's so cool.
Do you have any like tips that you give about people standing in front of the camera for the first time?
Yeah, so actually I say the same thing, like start just filming there's a couple. One is to talk to yourself in the mirror and like experience how awkward that is. Another one is to, once you've done that a couple times, voice memo record yourself. So like on the iPhone, just hit record and just start talking. So like I do this a lot while driving. I'll do like almost these journal entry stream of consciousness recordings in my car, and I'm like, yeah, so like with this one, I'm maybe thinking about this and maybe this, and then you feel like kind of the awkwardness of recording yourself and having it be like this something that people can listen to, evidence almost. And then once you're comfortable, just doing videos that don't have a lot of pressure to them. Like the first time a lot of people get on camera, at least from my opinion, as a video marketer, was like their brand video. And then it's such high pressure and then they realize they're feeling these, nervous feelings. Well, that's maybe not the best place to start, right? Like start just doing videos that no one's going to see and just recording yourself. Give a tour of your home is one of the examples that I give. And then the last tip is to rename the emotion of being nervous and to recognize that every single person feels that way. Right. So like when I'm nervous, I'll just say I'm buzzing. And then you can transform that into like a positive energy instead of it being a negative energy. And that's pulling you down. It's like I'm buzzing gives you like positive energy.
That's good.
Yeah. So those are kind of my main tips.
Yeah, I also think like talk about something that you know about. Like if there is a subject that you are really interested in and that you have a lot of knowledge about, then you feel more comfortable talking about that, I think. So that's also a good way to start.
Yeah, and it's so easy to think that, but yeah, everything I know, people already know. That's not interesting, Well, no, people don't know it. When you start talking about it, it blows my mind like one of the first videos that I was like, oh shoot, I just need to record a video and I don't know what to do, was like this DIY filming setup video. And I just made it kind of fun and very quick. And I just like, you know, said, I did an outline. I just like said what was on my mind. And of course, that's the video that everyone loved.
Yeah.
It was like, you should do more videos like this. And I was like, oh my gosh, like sometimes if you just don't script or don't do anything, you just talk, like that's what people really want to know. So.
I also feel like people are following people on YouTube, and like even if you criticize yourself and like, oh, I should have said this in another way, or this doesn't feel as professional as I want it to be, I think people like that personality, like how you are presenting that thing. If you are doing how-to videos, like the Amanda way of doing it, maybe they want to see instead of another person's way of doing it. So I think we shouldn't like underestimate that. Like people like building relationship with people and to follow stories and to follow something that they can recognize. And if you have like a special way of delivering a message, they know that that's something they could expect from you. So they come back and watch more videos. So yeah, just personality, I think.
Completely. Personality is key, and not hiding it, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's so, and it's sometimes hard, like with my how-to videos, sometimes I'm like, oh, it doesn't have like my personality because they're how-to videos, right? But my Instagram stories have a lot of personality. So it like depends on your platform too, you know?
I like how you're sharing the like kind of behind the scenes on your Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Like before you're recording, after you're recording, you can see the setup and yeah.
I know, like I was even just thinking just now, like if you saw my place, it looks so messy right now. It's just that the background looks clean.
Yeah.
and like it kind of probably looks like I have a window in front of me shining on me, but I just have like this light right above the computer.
Right.
And I'm sure you have a light. So it's like, it's always so much more basic than people think behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
Do you want to go? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm curious where you're going from here. So you said you were going to do the last episode of Project Vayner. And I'm curious like how you've been making progress with that. Like has Gary like recognized you or their team or anything like that?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to reach out to him because he's pretty big. It's scary. And but I'm trying to like build like connections with the people around him and trying to get them to notice the vlog so they can like follow the process. And then when I'm messaging them next year or the year after that they can see like, oh, that's that guy that messaged me 2 years ago and now he's come this far. So I'm really thinking about it long term and also trying to like just show by value that I'm developing and trying to get better for each and every episode and hope that will be enough. And then just trying to figure out a way to get a green card and actually meet Gary. If I should like fly over to New York and stand outside his office and wait for 24 hours or something, if that's what it takes. But yeah, I'll figure out something along the way, I think.
That's awesome. I love that. And that's the long-term thinking that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's a strong why, right? Yeah. Like that's another important thing of, I think, why you and I are still going after a year with honestly not that many results, like neither one of us, like, and it's like, it's because we have that strong why built into what we're doing that really is driving that continual growth and that continual striving. So
yeah,
It's really cool.
So do you have like a long-term goal for you or for your YouTube channel? Or
Yeah, I eventually want to have the option to be a stay-at-home mom and continue my career while doing that. And so I was very out of alignment with my previous career as running like a video production company, essentially, because I had to be running a team, I had to be managing things. It was taking up tons of my time, like really a lot of my time. So I've always wanted to have some sort of passive income. And so this YouTube thing is allowing me to like start making steps towards that. And I'm about to launch, and not to mention like just build an audience. Like anytime you've built an audience, then you're getting so much insight into what people are thinking about, what people really want. And it's like, it's so repetitive and cliche that you kind of overwrite it, but it's so true. And so now like I'm about to finish my first, well, not my first, I've made ones before, but like an online course that I think is truly aligned to the audience and who they are, what they want. And so that's going to be my first kind of step towards potentially passive income.
Right, cool. Is that the first course that you're doing?
So I made one last year, and it was like, it took me 10 weeks to make, and it was right before I launched my YouTube channel. It took me 10 weeks, and I was putting in 10 to 15 hours a week, and it was so much work. I mean, it was like pulling teeth. And then after it was done, like I was doing it for a beta group that was going through it at the time. I just didn't feel like it was a fit for the audience, and maybe it was just me overthinking it. I never tried to launch it or anything like that. And I just kind of put it on the shelf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I ended up using a lot of those videos that I had created within my business. And now I give away one of them for free on my channel, like how to write a promotional script. It's like the first module of that course.
Yeah.
So I've figured out a way to use it. But this is the first course that I feel super confident about. It's solid for anyone that's looking to get into video, and it will like just jump cut your learning curve so fast. Because it's just like, here's exactly what you need to buy. Here's exactly how you set it up. Here's exactly how you edit it. And here's how you promote it. It's like bare bones, basic, entry level, and several different tiers. So if you wanted to immediately jump to the GH5, then you understand how to do that too. So.
But that's not launched yet, or?
Not yet. I still have to finish it. So I'm close.
Right.
It's my priority over these next couple weeks to finish it.
Where will people be able to find it?
If you follow the YouTube channel, you'll hear about it. And also, the major thing with me right now is just my newsletter. Right. I'm like very dedicated to my newsletter and pretty much announce all my services and everything via the newsletter. And so I'll definitely be launching it on there and eventually have a webinar. So just stay tuned.
Yeah. And for anyone that is watching this, you will probably be able to see all the contact details, like where you can follow Amanda and get in contact with her and follow her YouTube channel and everything when I update this video description after.
Yeah, because I forgot to send them to you. I just realized that.
No worries.
I will send them.
But yeah, you should definitely check out her channel. It's a lot of great advice there. I watched a couple of videos myself. So yeah. Yeah, I was about to ask you before, like, how does your process look when you are recording a video? Or are you like planning, are you scripting down for like a couple of videos at a time and then record them all at once? Or like how is your day structured when it's like recording day?
Yeah, so ideally I have done keyword research ahead of time to the day that I show up to film. And so I always start my first thing with keyword research. And for those of you watching this that don't know how to do that, just download TubeBuddy, and that's going to start you down that path of how to do it. It's a great plugin that tells you if keywords are good or bad. And so you're constantly just kind of playing with words and figuring out like what a better topic might be. So before I even create a video, that's the first step. And that gets all the tags done. So that's like, okay, check, I've done the tags for this video. Then the next step is outlining the video. And once again, ideally, I've done this prior to the shoot day. And I just, come up with kind of a hook of what I want to say. And maybe even I'll just do that on the spot. Like at this point, I'm kind of just winging it with a lot of videos. But in terms of the meat of the content, what do I want to talk about? That's where the outline is crucial. Right. So I like to keep my videos super structured in terms of like tip 1, step 1, whatever, because what I find is that audiences, and including me, whenever I'm watching a video that doesn't have that, I get lost. And then I think if you get lost and then there's tip number 2, you're already back with that person. You're like, okay, now we're starting fresh. I can pick up here, right? But it just keeps it super bite-sizable and digestible, I suppose. Bite-sizable. And so when I'm recording my video, I will do my hook several times. So I'll be like, in this video, we're going to talk about X, Y, and Z. In this video, we're going to talk about X, Y, and Z, or whatever. And then the next section is like, what's up, guys? I'm Amanda Horvath, and I'm all about helping business owners and entrepreneurs, and I do that portion of my video, which is my one-liner, which I highly recommend to anyone, because that if someone comes across just one of your videos, they will figure out what you're about. So I do that one-liner, and then right after that, I do like a topic intro of why this is important, why I should be talking about this, like why you should listen to me versus some other person about this, which honestly I need to get better at. I keep forgetting to do that. And then actually do the teaching content. And then for conclusions, I've been really playing around with just like, video is over. Like, whoa, that happened fast. Because I heard that that's like one way to, if your video just ends and people feel like, oh, I wanted more, then they'll be more likely to click on the next video. If it has like this perfect close, then, they might be satisfied and move on. So it's kind of like that
find a good balance there, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the like cliffhanger effect in a way that episodes do. So I'll sit down and I'll record 4 videos at once. I have 4 different shirts that I have, and I'll just put them on and sometimes change out my lipstick so it doesn't look like it's the same day, And I aim to do 4 at a time. So yesterday, I hadn't scripted my video, or I hadn't done keyword research. I hadn't scripted the videos, and I was planning to do 4 videos in one day, and managed to do 2. So it's better to plan ahead.
Yeah. So at the beginning, you said you are saying like what you are going to go through in this video, and you say that a bunch of times. Is that to like be able to pick out one of those that you want to use in the video?
Yeah, so I do that for each section that I described. So like in this video, and then for the what's up, guys, I'm Amanda Horvath portion, I'll do that like maybe twice. I'm pretty good at nailing that, so I don't really need to do it that many times now. And then the second portion, the topic intro, I'll do one, and then I'm like, I didn't really like that. Let me add this, and then I'll do that again. And so when I get into editing, it's just like I choose the best of this portion of the hook. I drag it up to the second line of Premiere, so that like when I'm looking at my editing timeline, if I'm going through, I'm cleaning it up, I'm breaking the footage down, watching everything. And then if I like that take, I drag it up to the second line, and I know that's my favorite take. And then the next section, I drag it up to the second line, and so on for the whole rest of the video. And then you can just lasso that whole second line that has all your favorite takes in it. You paste that into a new sequence, delete all the spaces, and you essentially have a rough cut.
Yeah.
So that's my process for editing. And then I throw on my transitions, and then I do the crop in and out. So I shoot in 4K. And that's so that I can hide any edits. And I find that, like, with pacing, one of the things I've learned with YouTube is they move so fast and they're always talking like this, and then there's something over here, and then, you know, and you're like, okay. So I like cut out any breaths.
Yeah.
And crop in and crop out as much as possible. Even if there's not an edit there, I add an edit. So like every several, 5 to 10 seconds, I kind of want something happening on screen, whether it's text coming on or a crop in or crop out. So that takes a while.
Yeah. I think that's important to have, like, to keep the viewer interested all the time. Like, even if you are able to nail the script from start to finish, people will still, like, start looking away or losing concentration because it's all the same angle. It's just one cut and everything. So yeah, just like you said, like filming in 4K, so you can zoom in and then cut to maybe like full screen, and yeah, taking away all that, like the gaps when you're taking in new air to start the next sentence.
Yeah, and it makes it like so much more chill when you're filming too. So if you mess up, it's not a big deal. You can just cover it and pick up where you left off. And if you don't have 4K footage, you can just do it in 1080p, because a lot of YouTubers prefer the jump cut look. They'll even move around between takes so that they're like popping over here, popping over here. Like I'm sure you've noticed, they're like suddenly close to the camera and far away from the camera. So,
or even like switching location.
Well, or yeah, you could totally do that. That's a lot more work, but you could definitely do that too. So there's tons of different ways to do it, but it's been so interesting to study the art form of YouTube versus marketing promotional videos, which is what, like, my whole business has been about. So it's a very different form of video.
Yeah. One thing that I wanted to add before I forget it, you talked about the one-liner at the beginning. That's something that I've been trying to get better at, to say it in the same way every episode, like, welcome to Product Vayner, this is the journey of blah, blah, blah. And then that in itself, for me, it like builds confidence to continue the rest of the video, because you're repeating to yourself, okay, this is the purpose, this is why I'm doing this. And you also know what to say, so you get like comfortable from the start. So that's also one good thing of repeating that. So not only for the viewers, but also for yourself.
Totally. And it allows other people to explain you to others.
Yeah.
So like when, I can explain you to someone else. Oh yeah, he's doing this project where he's trying to get in front of, become a videographer for GaryVee, and so he's doing it because of this, And it's like, even if I've only seen one video, I know that, And same with mine. I have people that they're like, okay, let me try your intro, and then they're like, it's something about like business owners, entrepreneurs, power of video, like breaking the bank, like it just like sticks with people, and it works.
Yeah. I tried to like learn it yesterday. You're like,
oh really?
Yeah. So I think it's like, I'm all about helping business owners and entrepreneurs leveraging the power of video by without breaking the bank or taking up tons of their time.
Yeah, there you go. Without taking up and what's so funny is those graphics that come on screen are just like, I created them once. I exported them as like a transparent PNG. And so every time I say it with the same cadence. Business owners and entrepreneurs leverage the power of video without breaking the bank or taking up tons of their time, so that the graphics are automatically just synced.
Yeah, I think the graphics actually, it really helped, because right now when I was thinking about it, like what was she saying, I saw like the graphic in front of me, and then I remembered like the words. So
yeah,
it really helps.
Yeah, so true. That's awesome. Mogerts. I don't know if you've played with them yet.
Oh yeah.
They're the best.
Yeah, that's something that I'm really into right now, like trying to build these motion graphic templates. So like in my last episode, I have like a social media graphic that was like fading in. So just creating templates like that, it both save time and also makes it look more professional. I really like the subscription thing that you have at the beginning of your video.
Yeah.
And then like, don't forget to click the bell, and then the bell comes up.
Yeah, and that's literally a template that I just got, and then I replaced my logo, and it's like a basic After Effects template that, you know, like I'm like, okay, how do I do this? Like, I can figure this out, you know? And it's cool because one of the things that I'm doing right now, the way that I'm making money is I'm helping 4 people launch their YouTube channels. And so I'm helping them create their graphics package because everyone comments on my graphics. They're like, almost every single video, someone will comment, hey, how do you do your graphics? And of course, now I have a video on how I do my graphics. So I'm just like, paste, paste. But so it's like, it really does. Even if you just have iPhone footage, it just makes it so much more engaging.
Yeah.
Just to have the graphics that kind of, and not to, like you said, it makes editing so much easier.
Yeah. I think putting some time into doing that and making it professional and making it personal, like that's really an investment for your video overall quality, I think.
Totally. Agreed.
So, yeah, you talked a little bit about like filming and editing, but when you're uploading the videos to YouTube, or they're like do you have like a list of things that you go through, like the tags and the title and end screens and all of that?
Yeah, so I organize everything on a Trello board. So it's like, it has, within one of the cards, it'll have my thumbnail on there. It has I usually try to write out my social copy before the day of. So I'll have like a list of all the places that I'll get there in a second because that's promotion. But so I'll have the tags, I'll have the description written out, and I just copy, paste, tags, description. And then another thing that I learned to do, I'm not sure if you do this, but if you click Command-I on your keyboard to bring up the info for your video card, you can paste your tags into the metadata of that video file.
Oh, no, yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah, so next time try it. And that will tell YouTube, oh, this is extremely relevant to the tags. Yeah. And then in the description, I try to use several of the tags as well. So like the keywords. So, and like, honestly, it's kind of embarrassing when you read some of my descriptions, like they're not well written, but they have the tags in them. And so I do that.
What did you say? You right click on the thumbnail?
Oh yeah, if you click on, I do it both for the video and the thumbnail. So if you're in Finder, if you click Command-I,
right,
it'll open up like that section, and then you can paste the tags in there.
Oh yeah, before you upload it.
Before you upload it, yeah, exactly. And then I upload my thumbnail, I add the cards, which actually, now that I think about it, oh no, I did do that for today's video. Add the cards, and then the end card. I pretty much just do it manually every time. I need to like get a template or something. You know how it's like you can set up a template. I haven't done that yet. But I schedule them, and that took me forever to do. Instead of uploading it as unlisted and then publishing it when you're ready, I now just like upload under scheduled, and then I make it go live at 7 a.m. Because I used to wake up and hit go live every day. And it was like, you know, a pain to have to do that. And now I don't have to. It just goes live. And then my email automatically goes out too. Yeah. That's really cool.
And is it 7 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah.
And I guess there's a reason behind that as well.
Because maybe people lay in bed scrolling when they're getting up, right? Yeah. So I used to be super anal about like posting all on social media, all my social media promotion too, like right when I go live. And I haven't been as good at doing that now. Like, for example, today, right after I get off this call, I'll just like take the social copy that I've written, copy paste onto Facebook, on, you know, this group, this Facebook group, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. So like I like spend quite a bit of time promoting each video. Yeah. What about you?
That's an important thing. I can really see difference from the video that I share on different channels and those that I just think, oh, this is a good video, it will get views anyway. No, it won't. Like, people need to know it exists and where to find it. So
yeah, it's a huge step. And it's like, I've even debated, like I've had people reach out to me like, hey, for X amount of money, we'll get you X amount of subscribers, and they're real subscribers, and we'll promote them on your page. And I'm like,
subscribers.
I so wish you were real, but I don't know if you are, you know, but eventually I want to hire that out, because it is kind of a lot of work to like each video, like you're creating the video, you're like, well, you have to do the research for the video, create the video, promote the video. And it doesn't seem like that much, but it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a long process when you like write down the time it takes for every step that you go through. It's not just the filming and the editing, but a lot of steps before that and a lot of steps after that as well.
Yeah, like those little things, like adding the tags to the video, you know, it's like, Do
you also like change the name of the file that you upload, so you have the keywords in the file name?
Yeah, so I named the file name the name of the actual video. So the title of the video, I'll put that as the title.
Right. Do you decide the title before you shoot it or afterwards?
Yes, before I shoot it. So that's during like the whole keyword research part. If I haven't done all of the tag keyword research, I at least have the title. And you also want to say the name of the title in your video, because YouTube is transcribing your video. And that's another step that I do, is I pay for the transcriptions on rev.com. So like with each video, it's like, you know, $1 per minute or whatever. So that like YouTube knows, oh, this is super relevant to the title because it's being said X amount of times within the video.
Right.
I'm very much playing like the keyword research, rich content game.
Yeah, I think it's super important. And is that something that goes automatically? Like, because I have heard that before, but I wasn't sure about it, like how many times you're mentioning that in the video, or is it like a separate service that you pay for, that you said?
So it does it automatically. So YouTube does do it, but for whatever reason, I think that if you do it with like an actual, like you don't use the automatic feature, I think I don't know. I've honestly like questioned this myself, and there's a couple, like for the last several weeks, I haven't done it. Just out of like a time situation, and I need to go back. And so sometimes I'll like batch them. I'll be like, okay, transcribe these 4 videos kind of thing. So I pay for it, and I think I got this from Sunny Lenarduzzi, who teaches YouTube, and she's like, this is one of the most important steps, like just as much as your title, descriptions, and tags is transcribing your video. So I think it's pretty key, but I don't know.
Yeah, and subscribing. I'm kind of mixing up like transcribing and the subtitles.
It's the same thing.
It is the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. So you transcribe your video so that the subtitles are accurate.
Right. Okay. Now I'm with you.
And that allows YouTube to scan what the actual content of your video is.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. A lot of things like behind the scenes.
So many things behind the scenes. Like YouTube is an iceberg, and we are seeing like this much up top, which is why I love talking to other creators to see what they're doing, you know, because like, I don't know, it's just, there's no way, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like, I think we're gonna end this now pretty soon, but we could probably sit here for like a couple of hours to continue to discuss these things, because there is so much to it.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah, I'm really happy that you took the time to join this live, and I think it's a lot of valuable information for everyone that wants to start their YouTube channel or just start filming and creating videos, and all of the things that you can do beside just the video to make to get like better exposure and better result with the video. So
yeah, no, thank you so much for having me. I love that we were able to do this. This is so cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, thanks for everyone that was watching this. It took us 2 tries before we got the live up, but it's always some technical issues, but then you're learning something new, so that's just good, I think.
Totally.
Yeah, I think that's it for today. So yeah, thank everyone for watching, and thanks, Amanda, and yeah,
thank you.
see you in
Bye,
the
everyone.
next episode. Bye.